This is the future.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Green here and welcome to another video. In this one we're going to talk about the classic team rework and how amazing it is. I mean, my last videos were kind of on a negative note because we got the whole issue with the Battle Pass, the whole artifacts disappearing, the whole gears for the Batman Who Laughs being for a bit in the store. But now moving on to the good side of things, I believe the classic team is the absolute best piece of content added into the game in a while, and I'm going to go over in this video why, and I'll also show you some gameplay of it. Okay, so we're gonna start off with classic Batman, which is by far the weakest one of them all, but still a very solid character, a very must-have character for that team, but the other two are just so damn powerful by themselves. So we got Power Seize here, which is going to be pretty much the main thing you want him on the team. It's going to allow you to inflict blinds on the opponents. And at the same time, it's going to make it so that if they miss an attack on you because they're blinded, you're going to get some power generated. And that's going to play also into passives from the other characters. And those things are not that relevant. This is gonna give them attack and health for your classic team. It's not gonna change the gameplay by that much, but it's gonna add some okay flat values. Again, attack is not the best thing to get because it's gonna be calculated out of the base attack, so it's not gonna be a huge value, but he also provides that for the team, and his skills didn't change at all, and this also has a blind, so that's something you should keep in mind. And this is with a 75% chance to miss rather than his 25% chance on the passive, so this is gonna be far more effective. Now let's move on to Superman. Okay, so Superman after the rework, it's an absolute unit, ladies and gentlemen. So we got this here tactical strength. This thing is going to make all his specials. So previously it was just the special was gonna reduce the defense of the enemy. Now they swapped the passive for all the special, reducing the opponent's defense and also inflicting damage to tagged out opponents without you having to do any weird stuff, like for example with Lord Joker, you had to inflict the special one, and then especially no, straight up every single special is gonna damage tagged out opponents and reduce defense for the current opponent in the fights with every single special, so already amazing. We had Power of the Sun, increasing your health, pretty much health regenerating for each power bar that is restored. This is huge, because this is going to combo with my boy Classic Batman, because you're going to generate power bars each time an enemy is going to miss a hit on you. And you're going to also restore health while that happens. And boy, in the video that I'll show you, I'll have a little bit of something that's called Sword of Salvation, which is gonna power steal from the enemy, and that pretty much regens health like no tomorrow. This even without Sword of Salvation, this is a very good passive, but when you add Sword of Salvation, it's gonna go easily on the broken side of things. Then we got Blast from the Past, which is also going to now have a chance to power steal from the opponent that I think might go all the way to 100% chance at, let's say, level 80 or something, because he's now going all the way up to 7 stars. And this thing power stealing pretty much means that Superman is going to not only reduce the defense of the enemy with this, not only damage the entire team with this, but also regen health with this. And the third thing is gonna be Tough Skin, solid amount of defense for all your classic teammates, and this is easily going to in the mix with your gear set. Also keep in mind I worked a bit on Superman since yesterday, so the Superman you'll see in combat is gonna be far weaker than what I'm showing you here. But hold on, it's not this one. Which one of them was? But regardless, you're gonna have some base defense. This man has no defense put on his build currently, and keep in mind he's far stronger now than when recording those fights. But yeah, he's gonna have 31% defense. His passive is going to grant him how much? It's gonna guarantee him 35% more. This is already gonna be enough to max out the Wonder Woman passive, so for the classic team, at the very least, you'll not need to add any defense to max out Wonder Woman's passive that gives you more crit damage. So overall, this dude is very solid, and I tend to believe, like, look, in terms of who's gonna be the damage dealer of the team, all of them are going to deal good damage. All of them are going to deal good damage because all the passives are going to apply to all of them, and all of them are going to be as efficient as the other at applying those passives. So it's gonna be a matter of preference, but it's gonna be a long time since you're gonna get to max out Wonder Woman. This dude is in the arena store, so you can get him from there, and it's also got Dot on the special tree, which is kind of the only thing that's slightly different from the other characters. Not that it would matter that much, because you're going to reduce defense anyway with your specials, but yeah, it's more like a matter of preference, but I think Superman will be the go-to as a damage dealer for everybody. And there we go, lads, my 1-star Wonder Woman, but look, her passive is done very well for lower star rating. I really love the way that they did this. So we're going to have here 2% crit damage for each 1% defense that you have. And this is pretty much the same ratio that you're going to get all the way at 7 stars. But instead of decreasing the ratio, they are going to lower the cap until it goes all the way. And this is, in my opinion, a very, very good way to do it for lower star ratings of the character. Because if you could go all the way to 100% crit damage, you would see people doing weird builds where they literally max out their defense in order to get to that max amount with, let's say, 0.5 for each 1% defense, even though I don't think that would be, that definitely wouldn't be possible. But it's simply gonna be like, it's gonna be just as efficient in terms of the ratio that's gonna give as it would be at 7 stars, but the cap is going to be lower. And I think this is just a good way to implement things, because it simply does not complicate things and doesn't make it, let's say, less efficient by the part defense ratio, and I really appreciate that. And this thing is going to, yet again, work in a similar way. It's going to give you some crit chance against blinded opponents, but it can go only 5% so far above the damage cap. And you're going to also get attack against the blinded opponents, and this applies to, like, the entire classic team as well. So because it applies to the entire classic team, and you're going to get all those buffs for each of your classic team members, it doesn't restrict her to being a damage dealer. Anyone in the classic team can be the damage dealer. And yeah, this thing is kind of irrelevant. I mean, it works to an extent, but it's only for Wonder Woman characters and classic characters, so not really for everybody. But yeah, this thing is gonna be very, very good for the classic team, and this thing is going to be to make her pretty much a universal support character, because every character will benefit from 400% crit damage, and I'll have a video later on about that specifically. But overall, I'm quite happy with Wonder Woman. I'm quite happy with the way they did the classic team, because I feel like classic Superman was shown the most love out of them all, but they don't restrict you towards, like, look, this is the tank, this is the damage dealer, this is the support character that doesn't do anything. It's at this point just a matter of preference. I think I'm gonna go with classic Superman, but you can pretty much do whatever you want with that. But yeah, let's get into the fights. Okay, so over here we're back to the fight where we left off at the beginning in the intro, because I thought why not show this towards the end, all the way to the end, see if we started anyway. To get here, classic Superman. The problem with my current classic Superman is that he's not gonna display the full potential of his healing powers, because he's gonna heal a ton with the Sword of Salvation, and even if you don't have the Sword of Salvation, which I'll be using in every fight over here, you're also gonna heal a ton with the special 2, because that's going to power steal. That means power generation. You're also going to heal every single time the enemy is going to miss an attack. All around, you're going to get far more healing than you will ever need. So you see here, Pargo is putting me at a very low point with my power, so we got a little bit of healing there. She's blinded, gonna tag out, special 2 in there. That's did power steal a bit, but it didn't heal that much, because it's gonna heal you per power bars generated, and the more power bars we steal, the more it's gonna heal. Special 2 again, and you see huge amount of heal from stealing those power bars. That was not even Sword of Salvation doing the trick there. Another special 2 in there. That did not power steal. Again, quite low level on the passive, sadly, for this dude. Boy, like, XP capsules are a thing that's so hard to encounter. Another special 2 in there. He's also blind. The whole team gets damaged. This dude's defense reduced. Boy, this team is packed with things that he can do. It's packed with things that he can do to handle every single situation. It's got dot damage, it's got defense reduction, it's got power steal, it's got healing. It's got damage increase for raids and soul raids to be good there. Again, not really sure about their efficiency, but I'm kind of speculating that they will be at the very least as good as Silver Banshee, if not better than Silver Banshee in terms of raw damage. And the thing is, to an extent, okay, you're not gonna have the absolute best outcome if that happens, but to an extent, I think they can work even without Wonder Woman if you do not have Wonder Woman. Like, I mean, look, in Arena and Champions Arena, having Wonder Woman in there doesn't make them less broken. Wonder Woman simply adds damage, but in Arena and Champions Arena you can get away without not having that much add-on damage, and you can only benefit from the crazy passive synergy between Batman and Classic Superman. The only question now, since Wonder Woman seems that she's gonna be such a good support character, is it worth using the Classic team, or is it worth using Wonder Woman as a support character for another team? And if that's the case, can they still pull the damage to be in the top 16 even without Wonder Woman? Well, only time will answer those questions, but so far, I am very, very pleased with the rework. Just look at that power generation. Look, he did like 3 hits and each one of them like missed. And this thing with the blinds and power generation on the blinds, you would think, that's useless if you play it properly in raids because you're gonna combo interrupt. Yes, but when you combo interrupt, the enemy's still gonna do 1 hit on you that usually blocks, so if that blinds, it's still gonna be a ton of power generation. Boy, I just... Look, now, smart talk aside, this is the most fun I've had with the team in Ninjas 2 Mobile in a while. They just slap ass. And it might be because of the fact that I'm fighting weaker teams here, because they were not properly built yet, and they're still not, but Classic Superman is definitely getting there. But I'm just having the blast with this team, and I'm very, very happy with this rework. I think this is the absolute best piece of content that they have added in the game in a while, because Wonder Woman, regardless of the whole bullshit with the pass, she's gonna be in the arena invasion, so everybody gets her. She might have a chest at some point. And Classic Batman and Classic Superman. Classic Superman is currently in the arena, so we're not sure if Classic Batman is still there, but you're going to eventually get them nevertheless. And this is just a very powerful and fun to play team that everybody will get to enjoy in Arena and Champions Arena. And even without Wonder Woman, and when it gets to all the way to the point where you have Wonder Woman, if you just build them for Arena and Champions Arena, that's still gonna be fine, because they're going to be very good in raids and soul raids. And like, because of the Superman's passive that grants him a lot of defense, a lot of people are gonna build them by default as raid damage dealers anyway. So yeah, that was pretty much it for this video. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay and the analysis of it. As I said, there's been a lot of bad things with this update, but there's been one of the greatest things that we had in Just 2 Mobile in a while, which is the Classic Team rework. So I'm just gonna end the video on that note and just say I'm happy with how this went. I'm very happy with how this went, and you know how I got the How to Rework Character series? I'll be honest here, if I did it myself, I'm not sure I could have done it better. But yeah, thanks so much for watching and goodbye!
This is the future.